Curfew put in place to help curb teenage crime during the 4th of July holiday has now ended. But the conversation over what the city can do to find a more permanent solution is just getting started. Our Stephen Schlink spoke with folks at several businesses today about that curfew and joins us now live. So, Stephen, what's their take on where we go from here?
Well, good afternoon to you, Rachel. You know, the big question people are asking now is where do we go next? While they say that this temporary curfew was a good step, they say more steps need to be taken to solve this problem here in the city.
Yesterday there was a really big difference. There wasn't that many people out after the set curfew time.
Daniel Detweiler is the manager at Boardwalk Family Arcade and says they noticed a difference when the city implemented the curfew during the holiday weekend. It prevented unaccompanied children who were 17 and under from being in parts of the city like Ocean Boulevard beyond 10 p.m. Detweiler says it actually worked well for them.
It makes the process a lot harder for us to close when there's a lot of people, especially a lot of teenagers who don't have any money or not doing anything, and they want to come in and start sitting around.
The curfew is part of the city's efforts to curb violence, especially among young people. Because it was a holiday weekend, the city manager had the ability to put a stricter curfew in place temporarily. Lieutenant Tom Vest says they had around a dozen violators of the curfew, but he says everyone cooperated.
This weekend, everybody that we got out with who was in violation, we were able to get voluntary compliance and get them to a guardian or safely back to their hotel where they were supervised, which is the goal.
Now attention turns to what comes next. Christoph Perdue owns Grand Strand Brewing Company. They weren't impacted directly by the temporary curfew as they closed before 10 p.m., but he says the impacts of violence across the city goes beyond those still open at night.
I think it goes back to the confidence in can people come to downtown Myrtle Beach and enjoy themselves and not be bothered. And if that curfew is what it takes, then I'm all for it.
Making that stricter curfew permanent is on Tuesday's City Council agenda, but Vest says it's only one part of a potential solution.
The curfew is just one piece of the puzzle to provide a safe environment down here, and we're going to continue to work through that throughout the summer.
In the meantime, Detweiler says he has some suggestions of things that might help.
Definitely more police presence down here, and more enforcement on the ordinance and everything for sure.
Now, we are still working to learn exactly what some of those next steps could look like for the city. We're hoping to get a better idea of what those could be during tomorrow's City Council meeting. As a reminder, there is a permanent summer curfew in place as we speak that impacts those under the age of 18 years old between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. in certain parts here in the city of Myrtle Beach. Live in Myrtle Beach, Stephen Schlink, WMBF News.